nation's commercial capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Sulaiman Alede.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, President Goodluck Jonathan meets ASUU leaders at a villa to resolve lingering dispute. Aircraft carrying G7 governors allegedly stopped from landing at Port Harcourt Airport. Fan calls it a malicious lie. G7 governors meet with former President Olusegun Obasanjo, promises to resolve dispute with PDP leadership. And Egypt's ousted leader Mohamed Morsi appears before a trial judge in Cairo, tells court he remains president.
And on business, Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Dr. Gonzi Okonjo-Iweala, blames revenue shortfall on dropping crude oil production.
And on sports news tonight, coach Manu Garba shows Nigerians of victory over Sweden at the semi-final of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup.
And from Abuja, the Supreme Court gives verdict on Anambra PDP dispute, declares Tony Woye as candidate of the PDP for the governorship election.
I apologize for the mix-up at the start of the news. We start off tonight with a meeting of the federal government and the leadership of the academic staff union of the universities, which is still on at the presidential villa. The meeting, which is part of the ongoing efforts to end the industrial action by the lecturers, is coming on the heels of several failed attempts to get the lecturers to return to the classrooms. Our State House correspondent Chukuma Onekusi reports that President Jonathan gave the assurance that all the issues must be resolved today and the Nigerian students must go back to school. The ASUU team is led by its president, Nasir Fage, also in attendance at the Minister of Labour, Emeka Nwogu, and that of Education, Nyesom Wike, the NLC president, Mr. Abdul Wahid Omar, and the chairman of the National Universities Commission, Professor Julius Okoje. Well, in the meantime, Senate President David Mark has called for what he described as a win-win resolution to the industrial action by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. Senator Mark met with the leadership of ASUU at the National Assembly, preparatory to the meeting between the President and the union. At the meeting, the President of ASUU, Dr. Nasir Fage, however, expressed optimism that the mediatory efforts by the Senate President would yield positive results.
Sort it out so that there will be no winner and no loser. It is not a matter of ego now, it's not a matter of who has an upper hand or who has won in the dispute, because national interest is at stake. Our students have been out of classrooms for about 4 months now, roughly. And that is not in the best interest of anybody. We are not happy about it. We are not happy. The parents are not happy. The government is not happy. So if something is going on and nobody is happy about it, then it's only proper that we have it resolved as quickly as possible.
We have been interfacing for a very long time with the Senate Committee on Education to address the multitude of problems bedeviling our universities. Now that we are meeting with you as President of Senate, as far as the Senate is concerned, the buck stops here. We are convinced that whatever we come up with will go a long way towards addressing the problem.
Well, aggrieved G7 governors are scheduled to join a solidarity rally at the Rivers State Governor's office, were allegedly stopped from landing at the Port Harcourt International Airport. The governors, who have given the leadership of the People's Democratic Party conditions to remain as members of the party, had planned a rally where they would explain their next plan of action to their supporters, but could not carry out that campaign. The G7 governors are those of Niger, Jigawa, Kano, Kwara, Adamawa and Sokoto states. Well, in the meantime, the absence of the G7 governors, who is supposed to be a part of the town hall meeting in Port Harcourt, did not completely deter his aides from addressing the supporters. Some of those who spoke said that the massive crowd is an evidence that Governor Chibuike Amechi is loved by his people.
These are the supporters of the new People's Democratic Party in Rivers State. They came from the 23 local government areas to be a part of a town hall meeting between their leaders and those of the All Progressives Congress. But the planned meeting did not hold because of the absence of those who were to preside over the gathering.
It's of course none other.
But their waiting was not in vain, as some of the local leaders present seized the moment to update them about what the event was meant for.
The Right Honorable Honor Sita Ono.
When he brings the drivers and you assess the drivers and you interview them, and Rivers people, men and youths, old and young, confirm to him that that vehicle would deliver them to Abuja from our creeks to Abuja, then it will be our joint decision.
The man that cannot be caged, he is supposed to receive eminent leaders of this great country today. And I'm sure for that you are all gathered here.
Not done. Another member of the new PDP in Rivers State, Senator Magnus Abe, encouraged the people to rally round the government, as it has transformed the state within the limit of available resources.
Nobody will intimidate us in Rivers State. Anybody who wants Rivers votes, we have elected a governor. His name is Right Honorable Chibuike Rotimi Amechi. If you want Rivers State, talk to Amechi.
Thank you.
Before they dispersed, the supporters were charged to be a part of the rally, where the state governor will address issues concerning the position of the state in the PDP.
We'll be here to do this in a very grand style. Michael.
And don't forget,
And the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, has reacted through its Coordinating General Manager Public Relations for the Aviation Ministry, Mr. Yakubu Dati, expressing shock at the allegations, calling it a malicious lie. He said the agencies in charge of the airspace did not and could not have given such a directive. They cautioned politicians not to drag the ministry into any political dispute, maintaining that the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, is a professional body and would therefore not like to join issues and political matters. Well, earlier the G7 governors had met with the former President Olusegun Obasanjo at his hilltop residence in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. It was gathered that the closed-door meeting, which lasted for about 2 hours, was part of the ongoing consultations to resolve the leadership crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party. At the meeting were the governors of Rivers, Niger, Kano, Adamawa and Jigawa states. The governors, led by the Niger State Governor, Babangida Aliyu, told journalists that they were in Abeokuta to keep the former president informed about the latest development on the crisis. The governors of Sokoto and Kwara were, however, conspicuously absent from the meeting.
This is part of the consultation, more so that we are coming to the resolution of the matters. We believe that very soon we have been discussing with the president, discussing about these matters, and we believe after the lull of the pilgrimages, we are all back. So we needed to consult again to find out if there is any variable that has intervened, and we are very happy that things are going normal.